Hello, it's Digital Robin here, and welcome to another video. Let me first start by wishing you all season's greetings and a happy new year. And as it is a new year, a new month, and it is the first day of this month, we have a new edition of Arch Linux released today. And one distribution which also has released a new release today, the 1st of January, is Archcraft. Now, Archcraft is a distribution I've not touched in, well, quite some time. And as I'm a bit of an Arch user, I thought I'd give this one a try because I'm hearing good things about it. Plus, also, I wanted to see how XFCE 4.16 looked as well using this distribution. So I thought, let's give it a try now and see what this looks like. So I have downloaded the ISO and already loaded this up in a virtual machine. I've given this demo here today 4 gigabytes of RAM, and we're using 2 CPUs as it's processing there. So here we have the welcome screen for Archcraft, and what we've got here is a way for us to be able to open up the installer and go from there. So what we first need to do is obviously click on to launch Calamares, and what we'll do now is basically launch straight into the installer, and we'll just give this a moment to load up. And here we have Calamares. Just do a quick check to see which version of Calamares we are running. So we are running 3.2.61 inside Archcraft. We're going to be obviously giving it some details on our location, keyboard layout and partitions, etc. So the standard things you get when you install any Linux distribution. So as I'm in the UK, I need to first of all select my language as British English and then click next. And you can see automatically that populates into Europe and London. So click next. And my keyboard layout will be UK, and that will be its default layout. Click next. And here now we have the option to partition the drive. Now, as we're running in a virtual box, I'm just going to leave it set to the hard disk, and I will just ask it to erase the disk. Now we're running a virtual box here on 40 gigabytes worth of hard drive space. So for this, I am going to set up some swap, but I'm going to say swap no hibernate because we're not going to hibernate. So now, as you can see here, it has now separated or is about to partition the drive into the installation, followed by 3.8 gigs worth of swap space. We're going to install it install a master boot record of virtual.box inside the virtual hard disk of /dev/SDA. So we click next, and now we're asked to enter in our user details. And for this one, I am going to call this one Archcraft for its host name. And put my credentials in there. As I'm using a virtual box, I'm going to ask it to log in automatically without asking for a password. But obviously, if I was installing that on hardware, I'd make sure that that remains as unchecked. And I'm going to be using the same password for administration use on the account here. So next we get the summary of what it's about to do, and you can see currently we have unpartitioned space around 40 gigs, and it will partition it so that 34.2 gigs will be the main distribution, followed by 3.8 gigs on swap hard disk space. If you're happy with that, you then click install, and now Archcraft is installing. So we'll just give that a few moments. It shouldn't take no more than about 4 minutes on my hard disk here. I am running SSD, so it shouldn't take too long, but we'll just give it a go, see how long this takes, and we'll be back after the installation is complete. So here we are now, all fully installed and rebooted into the distribution, and we now have a welcome screen saying, hello, the application will help you begin your journey with Archcraft. We're looking at a minimal, stunning and powerful distribution here. So let's just have a quick look at this welcome screen. So about should just give us a bit of information about the distribution. Most of this information probably you can get from the website. Just talks about Arch, the tiling managers, tiling windows, the window managers available to you. But Archcraft has 2 window managers installed by default, and these are OpenBox and BSPWM, also known as a tiling window manager. So OpenBox I'm fairly familiar with through using Manjaro. Having a look at OpenBox, it talks about what OpenBox is, and here's a screenshot. So pretty much this is just like a couple of pages from their website, to be perfectly honest. And then again with BSPWM, it talks about that as a window manager. But if I'm perfectly honest, I'd be quite happy to see XFCE 4.18 in operation in this distribution. So we'll look at tips, and it says now to try opening up a terminal and running the key rings, then run sudo pacman populate. So that's how to fix obviously invalid or corrupted package PGP signature. So let's just see now if we can actually open up a terminal by right clicking and go to terminal emulator. And here we have Alacrity as the default terminal. Alacrity, of course, you will recognize from other distributions such as Arco Linux. So for this one, first of all, I'm just going to run this command and see if we have any packages that have corrupted. Hopefully not. But we'll just install the key rings anyway. And give this one a go. And that will then run it. Yep, that's going to install. And then once that's complete, we then need to run the pacman key populate command. There we go. So now we say sudo pacman -key, and then we populate Yep, that looked all fine, and it found no problems at all. So next we need to update the system. So for that one we use the standard arch command of sudo pacman -S, and then all we've got to do is YYU, and we'll see what comes through there. So you can see it's gone off to the Archcraft packages there, and also checked on core, extra and communities, and it found a few updates there to download. And for here, it's prompting us to download libksba and the SQLites, etc. So for that one, I'll just say yes to make sure that the databases are all up to date. Now that's complete. Now next it says how to add my music into the player. We haven't got any music to do that anyway, so we don't need to do that one. How to change the theme and icons in BSPWM. So we're not in that, I don't think. I believe this is OpenBox, so we don't need to run that. How to change the theme? Yeah, we don't know that. Yeah, that's fine. And then it just suggests about making those changes and then restart the system. And communities, that probably just has got the thoughts. That would just be links through to Reddit, Discord, Telegram. Probably their forums, and on Twitter as well there. You've also got options to donate to the project as well, if you would like to send them some cash and help buy them a coffee or two. So that's the welcome screen there. I don't particularly feel we need to see that one anymore, so we can close that one down. Now let's take a look around the distribution. So first of all, if we do a right click on the desktop, you can see we can launch the terminal from here. We can launch the file manager. We can open up a web browser, text editor, and from here we can also see our applications as well in categorized view. So under accessories, we've got our file managers there. Plank is already loaded. Development, we've got Genie as well. Graphics, we've got no GIMP installed, so for that one you can install that one manually. So this looks like standard Arch out of the box. Multimedia, we've got a simple screen recorder. You've got network. Now, why is Firefox under network, I wonder? Interesting. Office, we've got a Trill document viewer. So notice we don't have an Office suite installed on there. So for that one, again, you can install manually the LibreOffice or the free Office suite. And you can do that one there. We've also got the Rofi theme selector. Settings is where we can change the accessibility, the appearance, set up the Bluetooth, etc. And also the power manager. So I'm just going to quickly check the power manager and see if there's any screensaver settings in here. Yeah, so this is definitely XFCE now. So for here, I always turn off the screen blanks and put into sleep and switching off after so many minutes. Okay, it's all sorted there. Next we have, what else under systems? So we've got the terminal we just launched. Time Shift is on, or is installed out of the box. The Thuna. Now Thuna is the file manager for this one, so let's just open this one up here. And yeah, you can see now we should have Thuna version 4.18, and we do. Okay, so my next thing to try and work out is whether or not I can find out if we are now running XFCE version 4.18. So for this one, I need to just see if NeoFetch is installed by default, and it is. And from here we can see that we are running Archcraft inside a VirtualBox, and we're using 6.1.1 as a kernel. We've got just over 1,000 packages installed via Pacman, but we haven't got any Flatpak or Snap packages installed. We're using ZSH as our script there. We're running 1920 by 1080 as a screen resolution, and we have got the generic Arc Dark theme there, and our terminal is Alacrity. And then you've got details of our PC there, which is an Intel i5 running at a 7th gen processor at 3 GHz, and we're using VirtualBox as our graphics adapter there. And look at the, I mean, just look at the memory use there. So I've given it 4 gigs of RAM, and we are running at 469 megabytes as idle here, with nothing else running in the background. Well, that's really, really good, and I do like this. So this is Archcraft out of the box. So let me just do a right click now and see, do we have any administration tools on here? So let's have a look. Is there a way for us to be able to install some software via PAMAC or Yay of some sort? I don't see any of that. So apps as root, so we've got our text editor and we've got our terminals we can open. Places, recent files, preferences, no, keybinds, system. Oh, this is interesting. Look at this. So there's a section here called stats under system, so you can see what you would normally get under your information screen, where you get a breakdown of your hardware, firmware, etc. But you get that here under the stats option, so you can get a bit more detail around your memory, your swap, and what type of kernel you're using, etc. You've also got the option here to log out, suspend, reboot, or shut down. Again, not finding any way to install any applications here, so that I'd probably say is now down to the terminal. So let's first of all find out if we have Yay installed. From the looks of it, we do have Yay by default. So using the Yay command, it would be a great way for you to install Snap applications. So for example, I would do Yay-S YU, and I'm going to install Discord, for example. Yep, there we go. So it's found it. So I don't need to download Yay and install that from GitHub. That's already preloaded in this distribution here. Now, one of the things I'm liking about Archcraft straight away out of the box is it looks completely different from any other distribution, such as like Manjaro, Endeavour, any other distribution like that. So yeah, it's got its own look and feel, which is great, and I like how it looks like a developer, in operating system. It's plain, it's simple, there's a lot of text involved, which is great. And I think you could probably use this distribution to, well, learn more about Arch, how it works, and, you know, maybe do some, you know, coding on it. I think it's a really good distribution. I wouldn't say it's great for starters. For that, I probably would suggest if you were looking to take a look at Arch, then definitely, you know, you want to be looking at Manjaro or Vanilla Arch out of the box for that one here. But certainly here in Archcraft, looking at this, you know, with the open box desktop here, using XFCE, I think the two match up perfectly fine. And yeah, I like the fact that I can see my memory use, my CPU usage, how much hard disk space I've got left, the time, date, etc. And I can control my music from Spotify or my hard disk from here. Also, I've got the volume controls, any notifications I've got, and what my network is doing as well. So this is definitely a distribution for coders alike. Now, one of the things I do remember from previous installations of Archcraft is their wallpapers were absolutely, just stunning. So for this one, I'm going to right click the desktop again, and I am going to go down to preferences, and here I am going to change the wallpaper. And straight away you can see we've got a great selection of wallpapers available to us here. Surprise, surprise, they have the Windows 11 desktop as well. Look at that. Oh, see, you can make your installation, your Arch installation look like Windows 11 here, which is great. But personally, I'm a lover of anything purple and pink, so I think this will suit me down to a T on this one. But you know, there's nice flowers. We've got Archcraft's own desktop here, but you know, you can keep adding to these wallpapers as much as you like. I mean, even that one there looks pretty. But yeah, anything that Archcraft throws at me in terms of the desktop wallpapers is just, you know, out of this world. It really is. So let me go back to my favourite pink and purplish coloured here. So it looks like a city. It's nice. I like that one there. I can relax working well with that as my desktop. So that is the wallpaper selection. There doesn't seem to be any other preferences to change here, but let's just take a look. So in terms of preferences, yeah, that's just about where they can find. But there's other directories you can add to as well. So by default, it uses the user share backgrounds folder there, but you can add more, and you can browse to your pictures folder, for example. So if I say pictures and wallpapers, I can say, yep, show me those, and I click OK. And then that will add those to the list here. You can see we've got a few more. Let's just come through. A nice Dalek. I think that's just a Nintendo. And there's another nice looking one here. See, you can just build up a nice library of desktop backgrounds here to use here. So I'm going to leave that one there. So let's just take a quick look at the Plank dock. Now for this one, we should still be able to configure this one by pressing and holding down the control key and right clicking and going into preferences. Again, you can set the size, you can make it transparent, though I'm not entirely sure why it's not appearing as transparent. Got a feeling that's probably to do with the compositor and how that's working inside VirtualBox. But you got the Mate, you got the GTK, and you got the, yeah, so the transparent doesn't appear to be working very well. Not entirely sure, but you got the zoom control still, and you got the options for behavior, so that's all standard Plank. I do like to put the trash in there so that I can empty my trash can from the dock. So yeah, I mean, again, look, you see I'm hovering over these and you can see the zoom's not working, so I believe that's probably something to do with the VirtualBox not making that composition run properly. Now here, these are workspaces, so again you can switch between workspaces from within the panel. You've got the main menu here, so when you click there you can search for any application. So if I did want to launch Firefox, I could do that from here. And let's take a look at Firefox and see which version we've got. Firefox looking absolutely gorgeous as ever. Now I will say, for the fact that we are using OpenBox, you can see here that it has created a bit of a border around the window. And that I quite like actually. But Firefox being Firefox by default, I hate the fact that you have the title bar at the top, so I always turn this off by going into Customized and then turning it off from here. And again, that doesn't appear to have worked. What happened there? Very strange. Okay, very odd behavior, but again, might be something to do with the fact that I'm in VirtualBox, or the OpenBox desktop doesn't allow me to disable that. Anyhow, so ignoring all of the default steps, yeah, for now, we'll just keep it all default. When we start browsing, yep, that should have worked. Interesting. Okay. Not sure why that didn't work. But anyway, let's just see if I can get a website to load. In fact, I'll probably say that Firefox might have crashed at that point. So let me just try now going into web browser again. That's better. Okay, so now let me try the toolbar again. Maybe it just doesn't let me do it. Okay, alright, fine. Or maybe disabling that. No, that appears to be working fine. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can get some media to work straight out of the box. So for this one, I'm just going to see if HTML5 is compliant within Firefox. It should be straight away. Let me just see. Now, there is a way for us to be able to test the videos. And let me just see if I can get a game to load. Doesn't appear to be working, but we'll see if we can get a YouTube to work. The resources must be running a bit low. Let me just load my channel and see if I can get a video to load.
Zero helps keep your business healthy.
Yeah, okay, so the fact that the advert worked shows that the HTML5 player is working, so fully compliant now. So the only thing I'll probably need to do is just check for DRM. So for that one, I go into settings and I search for DRM. That's now enabled. So that should be working fine. So the way to check that is for me to see if I can get anything to load. Actually, it's a Channel 5 website where we can play video without being logged in.
That was something like that.
Yeah, so that appears to be working absolutely fine. So there's proof that the HTML5 fully works now. So this is Archcraft, and it is the January release here on the 1st of January in 2023. So this version of Archcraft is labelled up as 2023-01-01. So for that you can find on and download now on the Archcraft website, which is archcraft.io. And there you will be able to find out more information about the distribution and download this ISO and give it a go. So that's my quick walkthrough here in Archcraft, the January release here in 2023. Again, I didn't actually just check to see which version of XFCE I am running here. Let me just see. There is an about somewhere, isn't there? About Archcraft. There we go. No, it doesn't appear to be. But anyway, the first. I wonder if it actually will. XFCE 4. Let's see if this. No, you can't get the command to work. Okay, fine. No problem. But yeah, I mean, I can tell just by having a click through the file manager and stuff that it feels like I'm using version 4.18 of the XFCE desktop there, using OpenBox as a window manager. So I'm going to leave this installed for a few weeks now and give it a try. If I come across any issues, then obviously, you know, I'll be straight on to the developers for that one there. But I mean, just on the first click through, I am really impressed by this release here. So this is Archcraft 2023-01, and yeah, go ahead and give it a try yourself if you want to dabble around a bit further as an advanced user with Inside Arch there. And yeah, in terms of myself here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And any comments, of course, you leave are greatly appreciated. You can follow us over there on Twitter as well at RobinJust. You can find Digital Robin, myself here, over on the website at digitalrobin.net, and there you can click through, sign up to my Discord server, and yeah, just follow more videos like this one here. Until next time we meet, Happy New Year to you all, and enjoy using Archcraft in 2023.